Hello and welcome back to Banished, and we got the RedKetchup Editor's Choice mod enabled on this, and I'm going to be starting a new map. So for this map I wanted to keep it large, not very large, medium's a little too small, we'll still have disasters on. I want to have a medium only because I want to have enough people and a little bit of something for food-wise to get started with. And along with all of his different various terrain types here, I wanted to get a lot of lakes going for this type of map. Alright, so we have our families here. The standard barn and stockpile, and looks like we got some beef cattle stuff here. And on our map, we have 3 rather large lakes here. So we got them kind of situated in a triangular fashion. And so our river starts up over here. And the flow of the river coming into the lake. And down through the bottom. Got a little stream. And it does interact with this lake down here. So that leaves a lot of area in between here, these bits of lakes, and fortunately a little area here which I will probably have to flatten at some point. So I wanted to do something different. I know some people have been playing around with the DS mod, and I do like doing the different kinds of piers and ports and stuff like that, but I want to try to do it without the decoration. So since there is all this land here in the middle, I'm going to try to attempt to make it a Venice-like kind of place with various piers and use of the canals. So I'll probably keep my fishing inside the canals. I will keep a little bit of stuff on the coast. I just got to be mindful that the river has to come down over here. So they're probably going to go diagonal. So I'm going to want to keep a good bit of this area free. Probably have bridges and stuff. So that does mean I can still have stuff over here on this side. And obviously stuff all in the lakes and this other lake, but I would like for them, more so than other cities, to use the canals to get in between both of the lakes and hopefully not interfere with any kind of dock piers and whatnot, but make them travel different distances so that they can go into different trading posts and make their way back out. So I'm hoping to not have to do too much of rearranging, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to, because I'm going to want this core area to be city. And it's going to take a lot of planning with doing the various different canals, so I'm probably going to have to do half pre-planning, half not planning. I think the hardest part is deciding where do I want to start sticking some of the forestry stuff and that kind of thing at the beginning, because well, I'm going to kind of need it. We have kind of limited food, not a whole lot of trees right around here, which will make it easy, I guess, for clearing out some of the area. However, I have to kind of decide where I want to have some permanent stuff going to be. I'd like to have stuff be on the outside of the map, be more of, like a big, huge forestry thing can be just nice and tucked away over here, while I can still have coastline types of things, as, this is going to be a city smack dab in the middle. But I gotta have a few places for some food and fields. I think that I would want to rely on some of the seafood, some fishing, Probably not too much because it's going to take up a certain influence area, but some places could be better than others that I won't need to use up a whole lot of space, and as long as it doesn't interfere with any of the transporting ships and such. And some of these streams I might keep. I just haven't decided the full extent of all the canals. I would like to have the canals used even more so in here as roads, and have the canals and the dock stuff kind of being overlapping each other in some places. So in that sense, let's get into figuring out where to have some of this stuff. We'd love to have some of it be right over here and out of the way, but we do have our starting area over here, and that also would require a bridge, and you know how that goes sometimes starting at the beginning. You have to be able to get your stuff down in order to survive. And I'm looking for a specific kind of theme for our stuff. The row houses that people are going to like to be using in some of the other series, they are not in the full RedKetchup. They're going to be in the 1.4 version, I think. And so we have some different kinds of stuff. So it's all the color stuff goes pretty well with some of his other little houses and such. And I'm hoping that I can kind of keep things pretty colorful. The only downfall is I wish that I could get something with the orange roofs, but that would require building some of these other types of buildings, and that I wanted to kind of have a specific kind of color theme. Like I'd like to have that, or yeah, that kind of stuff. But I am going to have to use a little bit of some different things to go inside with. Like, I want a corner building, so I'm just going to have to decide, do I stick with the roof types, and I might throw in a little bit of this and that. And then also in this, hopefully keep in mind to have a little bit more roads in this build. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, so now we got a few things situated. We're in early spring. We can get a couple of our little windows here and have our professions living down here. So let's get them started on. Helps to keep it up. Have our profession stuff down here. Let's go with 3 for right now. And we'll start getting on some of these things. So we have some of our stuff built up here. I wanted to make sure I get some roads around here. There is our bridge. I want to keep in mind where our bridges are. And we also have a couple 3-ways. We got another bridge there. So that's where I want to have some of our walking things. So of course I'm going to have to move that sort of thing there. Also got a lumber mill that's going to go in over there. Oh, we got a bridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's only 4. So I'm actually going to want to have that stuff up to there. So it looks like I'm going to have to get rid of that. Okay. And then maybe I can... Oh, let's get rid of this stockpile. And then... Yeah, I want to get rid of that one. There we go. And then we'll put in another one over here. Did I have 2 sets of roads? Yes. Oh, unfortunately they put down some of that. Yeah, they'll take care of that. So we got roads coming up here, and we'll have them working on the Gatherer's Hut and Forester Lodge hunting cabin. Get all that stuff straight away. Let's see, our bridge is going to be over here. We're going to want to move that road as well. So, might as well get rid of that before they do anything. I'm not sure why it's... Usually would just go away, but that is interesting. And the other thing is, down here we're going to have to get this done up as well, just so they don't die. I don't want one of those things happening. And that does not take anything to remove, so I'm pretty happy with that. We also have up here different Forester Lodge, so that's on hold. And once this gets in, I think we can then start getting in a house or 2. But in the meantime, we're going to need to have our laborers, which I got rid of again, we're going to need to have them get some more logs, as it says. I'll take a little strips of it because I really don't want to disturb too much of that there. I want to kind of let it grow back out. But we are going to need a decent amount at the beginning. And that's what I'm going to have to deal with. Alright, we got a little hill to keep in mind over there, and eventually we'll want to get rid of that probably as well, because, well, our canal is going to have these 3 ways, and I might decide to maybe do another one, maybe, or something up here, a little ring or something that's different, kind of help cover that side of the area. But basically I'd like to keep it be this whole kind of triangular kind of area, so maybe I don't need to get rid of that. I could actually keep it as, you know, a real mine or something. So let's get one in there for now to do lumber. Now let's keep you up there. We'll put the max, well, not max, I like having 3 in a hunting cabin just because hunter or gatherers I do like to have max. We'll keep an eye on that one, and eventually we'll have a bunch in there. And you know, this time around I'll also try to have it so that I can have more than one forester, so that we can have more people cutting and planting in the same area, and hopefully that will help a bit. Definitely having more people will help too. Alright, we have everything made. Alright, let's have you... Ooh, let's have you... Okay, let's see. I bet you probably have not done much of anything. So, a lot of these houses, except for the wooden house, I like the stone house, but it takes iron bars, which seems kind of strange. I'd like to... Let's see. Oh, 45. That is a lot. 52, that's way too much. These little houses that take stone, that could work. You can do wooden houses, but I think those actually do cost a little bit more. Or we can start in actually with a little bit of color houses. I do not think I left enough room for 2 of them. But I think I could start in on something here. Yeah, let's get one of these guys. It won't take very long. Oh, they got the 24, so they'll be able to build that just fine. And then, of course, in this added, it's going to be added in the main game, is the actual row houses. And that guy will also be able to fit, I think they'll be able to fit together. There'll be a little bit of disruption probably between some of them. We have the bigger corner house, of course, won't work. I think that would also work probably pretty well with the Boston houses. And then we got these little skinny houses too. And of course the larger size ones. But I think for now, we'll go ahead and stick in one of those as well. Pause that. We want to make sure we can get this in as soon as possible. I got that stockpile. We're going to want to put in another stockpile to replace the one I took out, because I had to do a little bit of rearranging here. Of course, they're spending so much time working on these roads. Not what I want exactly, but that's okay. So they got the lumber in. Oh good, they can get the other one in as well, too. So we got 2 of them. I'm going to have them switch to firewood at the moment. We can get a little bit of dead wood, but not much. We can get some herbs, hopefully. And probably want a little bit of extra food. As long as they're kind of walking in the same direction, that might be okay. Alright, I am going to stick one road down here for right now. Ironically, it actually matches up. And they're going to probably shove a bunch of food in there. And we've got logs now. So hopefully they'll get a bunch of things in here. I'm going to want to probably move some of that out. The only downside is that these lumber mills don't take care of the fodder. So at some point we'll probably want to get a normal one. They're going to get the firewood hopefully pretty quick. That would be nice. Okay, we got some of that stored in there. I don't want to have them move the stockpile yet. think also for right now, and I'll upgrade this to a stone one, but I think I want to get them into another house there. Alright, let's get a little bit more people working on it so we can make sure it's done. Let's pause that for... well, we'll get that done. As soon as we get these two houses done, then that will work out pretty good. Okay, let's look. Okay, this house, yeah, it's not perfect lined up, but it will still work, I think. I'd like to have different roof colors, but, you know, that's just the way it is. Alright, we can take one off of there. We'll work on the pasture, that one person, and we'll just kind of make sure with our gathering stuff that they continue to keep getting some extra food and stuff around here. And then we'll have them keep gathering up some extra stone and stuff right around in here. Give them a little bit to do. It's of course going to be quite a bit, but we have 8 laborers, so for right now that will work okay. We'll need to get more houses built here, and so we can get our families going, but I wanted to make sure we had enough to get most of the occupants in here, and then hopefully, like that, they're going to start getting a little cold. They'll pop in the houses, which I hope they'll get their firewood in pretty quick. That would be pretty nice. I'm sure these guys have a whole bunch of stuff in here already. Oh, they have a child. Okay. So, I think next time I'll throw down another house up here, so we can have a few up here. I do like the 2-story houses. I just figured I'd try something a little bit different. They're colorful, but they're like a different kind of colorful than what I'm going for. I think the stone would work pretty good for the foresty areas, and then these white trimmed color houses would work pretty good for the other sections. So pasture and house, and then we'll start kind of like working on getting some of this stuff in, and another food source. I think easily getting in a dock, it'll look weird, but we can get in a fishing dock. We can get in the first 2 so it doesn't look so weird, and then we can kind of just work our way down. There is a good bit of stone in this area. We'll get back to that next time, and then start as we make our way laying out some more stuff and figuring out our little neighborhoods and things to fill in. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.